Okay, so I'm live. My intention is I was told that I should just start recording myself and see what happens every day and use YouTube Live, which is the first time I've done this. Look at this. Needs to be fixed a little bit. Whoops. One of those blooper videos, going back from 10 years from now, looking back at today, it'll be like, oh, Dave and his blooper video. So what do I talk about? Desire, of course. What else would there be to talk about? It's like everything we do, there's desire encoded within it. A lot of times it's pseudo desire. But my desire for this series is I want to connect my greatest gifts with the greatest needs in my circle of influence. And that's what I believe everyone is here to do. Everyone, and what I want for every single man, woman, and child is for them to know that they are a unique incarnation of reality that never was, is, or will be ever again incarnated except through them. So you who are the viewer, oftentimes, we walk around, all of us, we walk around most days kind of covering up who we really are. We walk around most days sort of inheriting the expectations of the system that we're part of, the culture that we're part of, the subgroup that we're part of, the organization, the company that we're part of. There's kind of norms of interaction. And most of them, kind of conventional society, in conventional society in the US, the standard, kind of the norm, is basically you are an expert at whatever you have to become the expert at your little craft, and you have to be really effective and productive at making the work happen the way that it's supposed to. And so if I'm a teacher, I'm following the best practices of teaching. If I'm a writer, I'm reading all the best writers and writing according to the way you're supposed to write. If I'm an athlete, I'm mastering my ability to catch a football, throw a football, whatever. Or a triathlete, there's a timing, and I just optimize for the timing. How can I make my body work most optimally in that situation? Or maybe I'm a therapist, and I take all the tools in my toolbox and I offer that to my client that needs me. And that's great. In fact, that's part of human evolution, is to be able to step into what's needed and provide a contribution to what's needed. And everyone needs to go through that. In fact, if you skip that, you actually can't, actually. But if you try to skip it, so let's say you skip that stage and you start to just do whatever you want, just whatever it is, whatever your impulses drive you to do. What happens is, if there's no cultural frame within which you are held, and if there's no connection between what's needed and what I have to offer, then it devolves into narcissistic, self-gratifying, impulsive, basically anarchy in one person. So you need that. There's developmental stages. So my background is vertical development. Bina Sharma, Suzanne Cook-Greuter, this whole study where they did studies, for the past 50 years, and looked at how do people grow? What are the stages of development that people go through? And there's a structural, it's like, in the plant world, a tree, in order for it to become a tree, it needs to be a seed, then it needs to be sprout, and it needs to become a sapling, and then and then it keeps growing, right? But there's different stages of its development. It can't be You can't go from seed to oak tree. You just can't do that, right? There's stages of development. Certain more simple structures need to be put in place before more complex structures. And that's how evolution works. Parts being woven together and forming larger wholes. But you can't go from, let's say, 10 parts put together, or 0 parts put together, to 10 parts. You need to have 2 parts put together to form a third, and then those forming with another set of parts, and then parts, grow on it, and get more complex. Anyway, where was I? And I want these to be less than 10 minutes, by the way. I totally lost my train of thought. But desire, right? So right. So it makes total sense. We walk around most days and we are trying to fulfill expectations within in our culture around us, our small subculture, maybe our societal culture. And if we continue to adhere to societal expectations beyond the point at which it's useful to us and beyond the point at which it's optimizing the entire system, that means that there's something that's got to give, that we actually do need to let go of best practices or just following along and doing what we're supposed to do, and actually start asking, what is needed here? And what do I really have to offer? And what do I really want? Right? So there's a basic kind of training wheels that we need to take off in order to live fully what we're here to be and do, in order to realize who we are as unique expressions of the evolutionary process and of reality itself, the unified one field that manifests in everything that's manifested. It moves through us and it evolves through us. And so to actually live that and to realize that, we need to take the training wheels off. So we need to start asking ourselves the question is, what am I doing? And what is the impact of what I'm doing? And what do I really want the impact to be? What am I really wanting in this world? What do I envision for my company? What do I envision for my family? How do I really want a family to operate? How do I really want a company to operate? How do I really want society to operate? What's the kind of society I want to live in and create? At that point, we start taking off the training wheels and connect to our power to create, our power to achieve and to be impactful and effective from where we're standing. And that's only the next stage. There's actually more to the story. That only gets us, so the end game is I am a unique self. You are a unique self. So we are unique expressions of the entire process of creation, the entire unified field, and that our unique gifts are needed by all that is. And that we are co-creators participating in evolution in its greatest scale, largest impact. But we actually have to develop the capacity, the power to influence, to impact beyond our narrow expertise in order to be really co-creators, participants in evolution. So that's my desire. That's my goal. It's not a goal because a goal has an endpoint. It's my desire that will never be fulfilled, but I'll still be able to be accessing it. So I'm wanting to create a daily video to start, just to see how that all happens. And I trust that I'm going to be guided. And maybe this will reach 1 or 2 people. Maybe this will reach 1 trillion people. Who knows? That's my intention. All right.